channel. It's me. And welcome to a new campaign in Grand Tactician, the Civil War, 1861 to 65. I'm not gonna repeat that anytime more, I'm just gonna call it Grand Tactician. This is recorded in end of October 2022. And we just had a development patch turn into a permanent patch 1.1, and I discovered that in the field book in the game setup you can actually see some of the patch notes here, so we can follow on the screen recording what's been going on in a new patch. So this is it. We have units with low readiness in enemy territory can move to a base of supply, depot, city, fort, range and supply setting tools. Right, so now it's gonna be a bit easier, I suppose, to get readiness up inside enemy territory if under certain circumstances. I guess it's gonna be as hard or even harder outside of these circumstances. Weapon production now linear with standardization updated regularly. Large orders are delivered in parts instead of full order. Oh, large orders delivered in parts. Okay, on Steam, under discussions, under development patches, this was phrased differently and was hard to understand, but it would seem like if you order a large amount of weapons, you will get standardization during the production of that order instead of maybe like 9 months or a year later. Then you get all the weapons at once, delivered at once, and you'll get all the standardization. Now it would seem like this is a great update. Large orders are delivered in parts instead of full order. That's cool. I like it. There was some news earlier during development of the patch about this, but I didn't understand it. Now I understand it much better. Supplies, depots, fill rates can be changed. Yeah, I opened up a save a couple of days ago, and you can now set your depots to red, green, and yellow. How much supplies you want to go into each depot, which is excellent because depots in the back, you don't want to use, you can put on red and turn them off. Rugged terrain, mountains, and bad weather reduced supply efficiency. Crop harvest times added. New precipitation map filter. I guess that is how much it's raining, how much it's snowing, etc. AI improvements. I don't know about that. Battles no longer end instantly when loss ratios reached. Yeah, they changed the AI improvements. 10-time option change to 20, bug fix and rebalance. I will tab outside of the game and I'll read some stuff from the Steam notes as well, if I can. Go. Give me a sec here. I mentioned this in my previous game series, so this will be a repetition if you follow this channel. So let's see. The latest patch is actually not 1.1, it's 1.1011. We're gonna call it 1.1. There is some other stuff here as well. Seasonality with crops. Sometimes wrong battles are launched if player selects manual assault in sieges. That's fixed. I think that means that if I am sieging someone and they're defending inside a siege, and I assault him to attack him, I will become the attacker always. That was the thing I experienced. Like this poor besieged smaller outnumbered force, like, oh, don't kill me, and I attack it. It's like I'm gonna storm and charge your defenses and your trenches, fortifications, and like, no, he's gonna attack me. So I guess that's it. I hope that's it. Commander-in-Chief is also taking into account the commanding hierarchy level. Alright. I was thinking more about the engineering. Yeah, lowered cover values, reduced engineering points per unit, but increased perk engineering points and commander branch engineering bonus. So I am hoping this will fix tactical battles balance a bit when it comes to digging in. Battles do not end immediately. The loss trigger is surpassed, but gives more malice to attacker. This one I don't understand. Weak AI that is confronted with a strong player position does not retreat immediately at the start, but first tries to probe the opponent. That seems like they're gonna have the AI suicide even harder than it usually does, but maybe what was happening before was that the AI would go full head. No, there was a problem that many times when you attack the weaker enemy, the enemy would just you would set up the battle, you would build fortifications, you would spend 20 minutes or more just preparing for a tactical battle, and as soon as you said go, the AI would just go, no, I'm just gonna withdraw. Why didn't you withdraw before I did my setup? It was, and once, yeah, fine, but after a handful of times, it became very annoying. But this doesn't seem to a fix for that. We'll see what happens with it. They changed some stuff with the AI. It can only get better. Yeah, refixed stuck melee status if a group unit moves through regular brigades. First off, I didn't know that the stuck melee status was inflicted. I had that bug a couple of times. Not that often, a handful of times I had it. It doesn't happen all the time. It's fairly rare, but it's very annoying when a key brigade in your line gets stuck in melee, right? In a small battle, it can turn the entire battle around. In a larger battle, not so bad. Anyway, apparently it happens when the unit moves through a regular brigade. So don't mix up your brigades because then you risk triggering this bug. Higher number of casualties for routed units in melee. Okay. Right, you used to be able to like capture entire brigades easily. Now you almost never capture them, as far as I understand. So now I guess they trying to find a middle ground where, okay, fine, you're not gonna capture entire brigade. That should be super rare, fine. But at least you'll get a bit of, you rout an enemy in melee, you're gonna inflict a lot of losses and better losses now. AI avoids using short range volleys. I don't know what that means. Does it mean that the AI avoids setting his units on only firing on short range, so that will just stand on long range, not giving response fire? I mean, usually the AI fires at you. I've never seen the problem with the AI putting themselves on short range. So I don't know, avoids using short range. Maybe it means like the AI won't walk up to you and get close. They will engage at longer ranges and slowly grind you down and only advance after they routed you. They'll shoot it out rather than suicidally walk up too close to you. Maybe that's the thing with the patch notes. They are often, I think these are not English-speaking natives, the ones writing the patch notes, and you can tell. Rebalanced march to sound guns movements. So there are no new features. They said there's a feature stop, and I agree with that design choice. There are enough fun, nice features in the game, definitely. They're only working on balancing and fixing bugs and fixing stuff, and that's a perfect priority. I like it. And there's quite a lot of fixes in here, at least in the patch notes. We'll see how the patch plays. Anyway, if you want to read the full patch notes, you go to Steam, you go into discussions, and on the right side, it's a pinned entry there. We're also playing with the AOM mod. I doubt I'll play vanilla ever again. It seems like this mod is just so much better for what I am after. And if I go to the mod, they have already updated it. They had already updated it to the development patch before this was in full release, 1.1. But it was a quick fix for them to just make a compatible latest release version for 1.1. And I'm just gonna mention this one. I'm not gonna write it in every title of this series. The patch is called 0.639D. I can't really tell you what has been overhauled since the last one. I can, however, give you the planned features for the future of the AOM mod. Battle AI overhaul, improve the AI as much as we can, terrain effects overhaul, economy overhaul, update the 62, 63, and 64 scenarios. And they're talking about historical battles. I kind of would like to see them to fix one campaign, the base campaign, before they go into putting all their efforts into doing historical battles. But that's just me. So I can't tell you what's new in this patch for the overhaul mod. But what's in there is readiness, recruitment, battle overhaul, pretty much the entire tactical aspect has been reworked in terms of morale, cohesion, fatigue, accuracy, artillery, casualty ratios, and so on. And I mean, only having played 2 campaigns, one vanilla and one AOM, and that only lasted for a year before these patches messed up my save. That's why I'm starting a new one, and because there's a new patch. I apologize for that. That Union campaign AOM had potential, and I still have the save, but when I loaded up with the new patch, stuff has broken. It's broken in the save. It's still available to be opened, but we're just gonna start a new campaign here. I'm sorry about that. Perk overhaul. I implement army core system much faster, more realistically. Redone project cost. Many other rebalancing tweaks, unofficial bug fixes. So I like the overhaul mod. It's better balanced. It's more historical, and it's just better gameplay balance with the range and effect of weapons, etc. So now I talked a bit about the new patch. I talked a bit about the mod. I don't know what's new in this patch, in the mod. I couldn't tell you, but that was more repetition of the general presentation of the mod. Now we're gonna go into the game, and we're gonna check out what settings we're gonna play on. What I did was I reinstalled the game from scratch, because I was afraid that playing vanilla in earlier patches, I think I started playing back this summer on 1.06 patch, then I moved my first vanilla recorded campaign as the south into 1.09, the previous patch, and that worked fine. But now I moved my first Union AOM campaign into a new development patch of the game and of the mod, and that broke my save. So upgrade patches at your own peril. I mean, that always happens, right? But anyway, we can see we are in AOM because there are AOM campaigns available. So what I did was, I wanted to make sure that my game was up to snuff, and I right-clicked my game name in Steam, and I did an integrity check on my game files. You know, you can do that. And the game found out like, oh, there is a lot of files missing, and I was like, ooh, that's not good. But I'm fairly sure, because when I did that and tried to open up the AOM campaign, it was gone. So what I think, verifying the integrity of the game files, what it does, it's actually tries to fix your modded files, and that's not what you want. So I suppose install the game, then check that all the files are there by verifying the integrity of the game files, which I didn't do. And then you copy paste the unzipped mod files on top of the installed vanilla version. But the only thing I can tell you here is that this probably works, because there is an AOM Summer 1861 campaign here. We're gonna play the South this time. We're gonna go with very hard for the Union. Doesn't really say that. Adjust AI national morale, available recruits, casualty ratios in tactical battles. Well, auto resolve battles as well, but I usually play the tactical battles. Experience gain, morale recovery, military experience, and fighting spirit. So okay, so it doesn't affect readiness gain. What is fighting spirit? That could be readiness. But you get more faster morale recovery. I'm fairly sure the AI gets a bonus for readiness, because after defeating the AI in a battle, even if I'm winning the battle, I'm still standing around on friendly territory, going from yellow readiness onto green, so I can move my troops around. And you see defeated enemies in hostile territory starting to move around their troops, so their readiness is repairing so much faster. That's probably because of the very hard difficulty level I'm playing on. I don't know what fighting spirit is, but it's the hardest. I think the AI needs all these bonuses. National morale, that's fine. Available recruits, sure. It's just more AI pixels to kill. Casualty rates. The casualty rates, someone said that this could actually be a disadvantage for the AI. No, it's the morale, sorry. Well, it only says national morale is better here. It doesn't say anything about unit morale is better. Morale recovery is not unit morale. someone said that if you have higher unit morale, the Union troops gonna stand there, get shot to pieces in stupid AI locations in combats, and they're gonna suffer even higher losses. But I don't see unit morale being increased by the difficulty setting here. Fighting spirit might very well be an euphemism for exactly that. I don't know. But my guess is this makes it for a more challenging game than a less challenging game. Now this time, I never seen a YouTuber do a aggressiveness calm, the lowest setting out of 5. You have calm, low, medium, elevated, and very high. And you would think that aggressiveness very high would be the hardest for a human player, right? Regarding recruitment activity, it's not only moving around on the campaign map, as well as probabilities of invasions and defensive operations. I think maybe I played my very first vanilla campaign on elevate. I can't remember. Anyway, I have a feeling that for the AI not to do stupid invasions, like running around behind the enemy, it's just whack-a-mole with small AI armies inside your territory, but it's gonna cost the enemy more than it costs you. It's not a good. I'm hoping this will kind of simulate the early hesitant, stupid Union overall command of 18 early war, right? So, but also I believe that if the AI is allowed to recruit a bit slower, it's not going to hurt its economy as much. They're still going to have a larger army than I do as the South, and once they decide to invade, they'll probably make more, how do you call it, elaborate, more well thought through invasions. So I'm not trying to nerf the AI and make it easier for me. I'm actually trying to help the AI play better by putting up the lowest aggressiveness. Also, it's an experiment. I have never seen a YouTuber do this. I definitely haven't. So we're gonna try it out. If the AI just sits around and do nothing, I guess we'll have to restart. But that's not the information I have. Okay, AOM. Let's see if there's anything you need to know here. There's a lot more information here. I think this text is much longer. And as you can see, you start right before the battle, July 21st, yeah, right before the battle on Manassas. And I know now from playing the Union that the 75,000 militia, they have 11 days left on their 3-month contract. But they will be prolonged to 1-year contracts playing as the Union. At least that's what happened to me. Maybe I lost manpower in the volunteer manpower pool. I couldn't tell you that, but you don't lose the field units in your armies. And maybe you shouldn't, maybe you should, I don't know. The thing is, you start with a lot more federal troops, Confederate troops, 91,000 to 90, so you have almost equal amount of numbers. And also you have 69 Confederate ships. The morale is 95, experience is 10 to 9, so everything is about equal, except that the unit still has twice as many number of ships, and they're probably larger frigates. But let's see, in the sandbox campaign, is that... Now let's check the vanilla Spring 62. You can check the vanilla 61 campaign, I suppose. But even here, the unit has 3 times the number of ships. They have 1/3 more troops. Well, you can't really compare 61 to 60. But I wonder if this sandbox... Yeah, this is AOM modded. They just given up on working on it, but they have modded it, so... But interesting here, in the overhaul mod, where they tried to set up stuff more historically, the unit has 45 ships here. And when you go to a couple of months later, summer instead of spring, they have 128 ships. I don't understand how the unit can build like 70, 80 ships in a couple of months. It feels like that research isn't really... Yeah, whatever. Anyway, the AOM Summer 1861, that is the AOM campaign you're supposed to play. We also know that they have implemented regular Union Army troops with its own volunteer manpower pool. I don't think there are any Confederate troops like that. I haven't opened up this yet, and I will do that, and I will check out the OOB, the troops, etc. So we're gonna turn off auto manage. We're not gonna play with feuds, okay? So you're gonna gimp the AI. No, I heard that the AI is even worse at resolving feuds than what a unit player is. So actually it's a handicap to the AI playing with feuds, so we're gonna turn it off. We are gonna play with the readiness system and fog of war, but no feuds. Readiness system, oh there you go. And even if you click random here, you won't get any but the historical policies, starting policies. I'm just gonna check here how the mod implements alliance with the natives. That will be Confederate support in Indian territory 27.5. Recruitment from many of the ancient tribes living there is made possible and the number of volunteers doubled. I guess the number of native volunteers is doubled because yes. I know I set up a few Indian brigades in the vanilla campaign that I started in 1.06 patch this summer. King Cotton seems rather useless because I've never gone for European intervention, and I read on the forums that it sounds like okay, France and UK gets involved, that should be it. That, you know, the unit has to sue for peace, but apparently the AI doesn't handle the intervention. It's just French troops sitting around doing nothing in Mexico. I don't know. It's required for level 3 and 4 agriculture policies. All plantations will start the campaign with a higher upgrade level. I wonder, plantations, do they only produce cotton? Yeah, it's agriculture that gives you volunteers. You get 5 support in slave states. That's it. I doubt I'm gonna go level 3, 4 agriculture in this campaign. So it's not a very useful, but it's historical. And also having the capital in Richmond, I don't know what would happen if you had Montgomery in Alabama as your capital instead of Richmond. Easier to defend, yes. Confederate support in Virginia plus 10, yeah. Virginia's secession and Richmond's close proximity to Washington comes as a shock to the Union citizens. Their morale is -5. Alright, so you get by picking this, you get a flat -5 Union morale. I mean, if you're about to kick the Union out of the war, you almost got them broken, I guess you will be fairly grateful at having another additional -5 from the start, get-go, right? I mean, it's worth something, definitely. And also, Confederate support in Virginia, plus 10. Yes, Virginia has a lot of volunteers. And the more volunteers you recruit, the more volunteers you lose on the battlefield, the lower their support's gonna go. And the worse the troops gonna behave in the field. They're gonna start, deserting and perform less good because they have lower state support. So, having one of the most important states, starting with plus 10 support, yes, that's useful. Super useful. Like, for example, one of the starting policies, industrialization, gives you like something ridiculous, like 25% or 50% more volunteers. That is a huge benefit. I wouldn't compare these benefits to that. So I'm not saying they're balanced, but I have to say I'm fine with these. These are good perks. I'm good. Also, they're historical, and there's nothing you can do about it in the AOM mod. You just have to go with it. Alright, we're gonna keep this short and sweet, and I'm gonna leave this video up for a while, and I have no intention of... I just wanna set up the campaign, and I wanna check into it and look at the setup, and let's see when we're going to actually start playing this. So, and I just wanted to do the introduction movie video, record it now when I'm starting it, so you can see the settings. It would be hard for me to show this. Maybe not. Anyway. And I certainly hope this is gonna work out well. And the last thing I want to say is that yes, I'm gonna shit on the developers, but I'm gonna try to be a bit more relaxed about it and laid back and try to do it a bit with irony and twinkle in the eye, etc. Because I realized that they're doing their best, and I'm back playing my third or even fourth recorded video, so obviously I like this game and I have the best hopes for it. It's just that it can get very overwhelmingly annoying to play for me, and I guess my patience with bullshit has grown smaller with the years or something like that. So remind me in the comments if I start taking a computer game too seriously, if I get too mad, you know, brighten up my gaming experience by writing me a light-hearted, fun comment in the comments on YouTube. Okay, I'm gonna jump in and check out the setup, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the battlefield next time.